Virgo, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your reading for the first 10 days of December. We're going to take a look at what you may not see coming and get some important advice from Spirit. Thank you for tuning in, for being here with me today. Hope you all are doing well. And thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Virgo. All right, Virgo, let's look at some clarifying life situation oracle cards and see what's happening for you all. We have higher wisdom. Ooh. I just saw the image of the hermit. Could be in a very beautiful time of spiritual expansion and growth. Getting divine downloads. Feeling a greater light quotient within you. You've had a bit of a rough road lately. And you've been going through some sort of transition. Feels like you've been going through a difficult transition in a connection. Let's see. We have Pathfinder and Emerging Dawn. Yeah, you're starting to see the truth of a situation, and that things, you've had the opportunity to shift your perspective. We have higher wisdom. Interesting how these kind of go together. You could be trying to navigate a situation. We have explore options, learn what you can, and expand your horizons. Could have to do with your career, or you could just be on a journey right now. Spiritual journey, or even a physical journey. Trust your inner compass to illuminate your path through love and career, revealing the direction your soul wishes to explore. Yeah, you're letting that hermit energy really lead the way the first 10 days of December. Rough road. Prepare carefully before you continue, for it's a long journey ahead. You could be at the very beginning of something new. Going through a tide of transition, perhaps in a connection, going to the next phase of the connection, whatever that is. Whether you are in desire to cohabitate, create a family, buy a home, get committed. There's all these different phases, right, in a relationship and different chapters. So we have embraced the tides of change with openness, allowing the ebb and flow of life to guide your transformation into love and work. So there's some sort of flow that I think if you let go of control, it doesn't mean that you might not go over, you're definitely going to go over rough terrain, right? That's just life. But it feels like you're equipped to handle it. Whatever it is, you're changing the way you deal with the situation when it comes to you and another person. Emerging Dawn, trust that every ending is another beginning coming in disguise. Yeah, there's some sort of shift in a dynamic that I'm seeing clearly here, where you are navigating a new road. And you almost are looking at this new road going, this could be difficult. We're going through a transition, but I have a lot of hopes on the horizon for what's next. That's what I'm getting this. You're very future oriented at this time around a connection for some of you. Wow. Talk about future oriented. Talk about the next phase, right? This is a fertile time where literally some of you might be deciding, I want my partner to get pregnant. Or I want to get pregnant, and we're ready to multiply, right? Or this is you feeling like you're stepping into this really beautiful Venusian embodiment of tapping into flow, tapping into your own empowerment from a soft, tender place. I feel a lot of unconditional love that you're giving yourself and that you could be giving to another person at this time. Wow. Let's see what you don't see coming, Virgo. What you don't see coming here in the first 10 days of December. Ooh, some of you are definitely, be careful. This could mean a lot of things. 9 of Pentacles in reverse could mean that you feel a strong attachment to someone where you're forsaking a lot of your own independence and needs. This is maybe not feeling so free. Whenever I see 9 of Pentacles upright, it is truly the card of I'm doing my thing. I am large and in charge of my own vibration. I'm not attached to anyone. There's no one that's going to steal my thunder. It's this energy of feeling abundant, this feeling of being able to stand on your own 2 feet without the fear of loss or the fear of failure. But because it's in reverse, there's something that you're dealing with. This could be somebody else around you. It may not be you. You may be worried that there won't be success in a certain endeavor if you choose to take this path. I feel like that you're facing some sort of fear. Financial loss, perhaps a fear of financial loss. Interesting. You know what? This is similar to Cancer. You could have Cancer placements, or you could be dealing with a Cancer. All of these want to come out in reverse. I have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. This came out for Cancer. Just now I did Cancer, and I am using a different deck. This is interesting how this is coming out again in a different deck. So this is, things aren't balanced. But I think that you're interesting. I haven't had any noise, and now there's a noise. So this is mental noise going on in a situation where you may have someone who's attached to you in an unhealthy way, materialistically. Like they rely on you and the money you make, right? And you feel like a heavy burden around that. Or you feel like there's something around this attachment that is leaking energy for you in your life. I am getting that you have this desire to find yourself independently. Gosh, there's so much noise all of a sudden in this reading around me. So you may feel like it's hard for you to get centered because this person, there's so much noise going on around in them. We're talking about internal noise. That I almost feel like I just heard, I refuse to take on other people's energy frequencies, make them my own, and make them my problem to deal with. There's something that you're saying, you know what? If you are going to be in a state of imbalance, I'm not going to let that permeate. And I'm not going to stress out about whatever is off here, whatever's uneven. We have the Ten of Pentacles, the Empress there again. And we have the Ten of Cups. So there's definitely, whoever this is to you, that I am reading for here, this is someone that has been in your life for a little while, or you perceive them staying in your life for a while. It's like you're trying to jump a timeline with somebody who maybe isn't fully on board. Why do I feel that way, Virgo? They're not on board. It's like you drag them through something, or are they dragging their heels? I'm gonna get one more on this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, yeah, Four Swords. Healing is at hand for this connection. And overall, I think the vibe, the word of the day is rest. If you're pushing a boulder uphill, you're going to just be wasting so much energy. I think that that's been the lesson for you in 2024 is when you start to adopt other people's issues, you take them on as your own. You take on their karma, basically. And it does you a disservice. Sometimes we do that in an attempt to avoid our own stuff. Or we're trying to change the other person around us to avoid our own stuff. See where I'm going here? So I see you deciding, you know what? I need to focus on myself. I need to focus on my own healing, my own work. And I see that very strongly here. That's what you're learning from all of this path. This transition that you're in. Let's now clarify. Yeah, we have the Devil and the Four of Pentacles. Gosh, you could have strong Cancer placements, or you could be dealing with someone who has strong Cancer placements, because this energy is very similar of trying to remove what's unhealthy. And a lot that came up with Cancer was around love and peace and resolving conflict in a healthy way and forgiveness, letting go of the attachment to any outcome. There's something around expectation. You may feel like you want someone around you to heal, and they're not doing it fast enough. You don't like the way they show up sometimes. They're not giving equally to this. They seem to be kind of focused on their own stuff, but the way they deal with their own stuff actually impacts you in a negative way. This is that whole, if I have someone around me who's not taking care of themselves properly, then it becomes my burden, my cross to bear, because I'd rather step in now than to step in when it's 10 times worse. I'm not sure who this is to you. Some of you, it's not a partner, it's a child, or it's a family member, or a friend that you are caretaking. Because that Four of Swords could be around someone who's just needing healing. And it's hard to take a step back. Yeah, I like seeing that. Okay, now we're seeing the Six of Pentacles. Interesting. Is that when you do the healing, the Six of Pentacles is upright. When you are codependent and you take on other people's burden, it's not equal. I think you're realizing how to let go of an attachment to somebody where you started to take on an unhealthy role in the dynamic. And it's shifting the energy. There's a lot more unconditional love and acceptance. Queen of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Four of Swords. I see you going through this transition of literally shifting an attachment from unhealthy to healthy. And it's kind of mind-boggling. I mean, I think I've been getting that for you, Virgo, where it's kind of like one of those, like, going through the eye of a needle, where making the impossible possible. I think that whoever this is to you, they're so important to you that despite some of the toxicity or some of the negative attachment you may have had to each other, there are things shifting because you both are giving each other the space to recognize what you both need independently of each other. So you can give equally. The more you work on your own healing as individuals, the greater your capacity to give to each other from an unconditional place of love. And I see that. Let me get some advice. You're focused more on yourself now than this other person and how they show up. And that's a big shift, Virgo. Big shift. Yeah. And what does it do? It lets the energy flow. It doesn't get stuck because you're in a state of resistance. Basically, when we don't allow people to be the way they are, even when they're not showing up in unhealthy ways, you say, hey, this person's got some issues, but they're not mine. They may make you uncomfortable, but they're not there for you to fix them. And the more you take that on, the less they're willing to actually change. And I think what you're doing is you're like, hands off, hands off. I'm in my lane here and they're in their lane, and I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible for them. And that's the biggest thing you're learning. And I think it's changing the energy frequency. This is also you around your own success. If you feel like you've had this concern around your ability to find monetary success, you're healing that. You're healing that. The more you recognize an equal, even exchange between you and your thoughts and your beliefs around other relationships, and we're talking about your relationship with your career and love. And that there's this balancing effect that's happening. So the more balanced love is, the more balanced career is. They both kind of play on each other, right? So I see you giving to yourself in a way that you haven't before in the past. And that's what shifted. I'm telling you, you're going through this deep, deep healing phase, Virgo, and it's changing the dynamic. Yeah. Transformation, death. This is your advice. You're going through a powerful shift in the ego. And you're learning, Page of Swords. You're learning so much about when you pause. And you see that, it kind of was like, woo, this Three of Wands didn't know. It's almost as though the more you put space between you and expectation, the more you enjoy the ride, right? This is really being in divine flow, y'all. And you're showing me, Virgo, that you've been practicing. Well, this is what it feels like when I step in and try to control everything. Ooh, that doesn't feel so good. Well, this is what it feels like when I just let go and I really go with the energy and I don't try to change it. I don't try to reject it. I just allow it. And I know it sounds like, oh, it's so simple, Jenna. Like, you make it sound so easy. It's not. It's like the hardest thing you could ever do. I try to step into that frequency of surrender every single day. So if I have a negative emotion come up, I take a look at it. I'm aware. You observe, right? You have two streams of consciousness always running through your mind, right? Do you want to be the one who's everything's happening to you and you have no control? Or do you want to be the one who notices everything happening to you, who can step out of that paradigm and say, you know what? And in that place, you truly surrender. So if you're having strife with another person and you're trying to change the outer conditions to make your life feel better, chances are you will be getting a lot of blowback from that. You'll be getting a lot of blowback from that. Here's the thing. People don't change unless they want to. You can't force them. So I think what you're realizing is, wait a minute, I've been focusing a lot on making these outer conditions like fit what makes me feel more comfortable. Not realizing that the more you do that, you're actually taking away from your focus on yourself. And that's what you're healing. The more you give unconditional love and healing to you, you go through this powerful shift in your awareness and you learn that the observer is the only place to live. And you start to see life from a whole different reality. You step outside of the matrix, basically, and you become your soul self. And that soul self governs everything. That's why I felt that hermit energy coming in so strongly, where you're starting to realize the difference between these two timelines. And you're saying, well, I don't like that timeline where everything's happening to me and I'm a victim, and I'm trying to change how people show up around me to make myself feel better. It'll never work that way. This is definitely stepping into 4D, 5D awareness and doing it more successfully, Virgo. And I see you doing that. It's not easy. It allows you to create space between the situations that happen in your life and your reaction to them. I hope I'm making sense. We kind of went down a deep rabbit hole today, y'all. I think you know what I'm talking about. Let's get a Keepers of the Light to help you with this energy that you are definitely swimming in the first 10 days. That's why we're in this retrograde energy, because we're reviewing, we're reassessing, we're reevaluating, and we're changing our beliefs. Ooh, you have two that came out. We're going to read a little bit of both of them. We have Kali Ma, Facing Fear, which I believe it was for the weekly. So you could be facing these fears head on. And what does that do? It allows you to manifest magic. We have Isis and Kali Ma, strong divine feminine energies. And I did see there's a lot of divine feminine showing Queen of Cups. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's, something that you feel like you're, draining your energy, but it comes down to what you believe about equal give and take, mutual reciprocity, and no longer willing to get stressed out about it because you're exerting control when you do that. Whoop. Let's now go into, I want to read Isis first. You are moving into a space where your dream reality is becoming your outward reality. This is an extremely powerful time, and it's vital to keep focused on the highest good of all. You no longer want to relive your own history and or feel unsupported. Acknowledging where you once were and how you have changed that situation around is a powerful focus of gratitude that will align you with universal abundance. Discipline and commitment are important now. Consider that you are moving between worlds when you daydream or create visions and bring life-enhancing ideas into reality. Magic is manifesting all around you. This is exciting. I love that. I think you guys really understand what I'm talking about through that message right there. All right, and then Kali Ma. This is a time when you're able to look fear in the eye and move away from it. Fear is just energy, and energy can be changed. This can be an intense experience because the human self is so conditioned that it may be used to operating with fear present. When the fear is gone, it may feel as though an emptiness is there. But this is space for love and miracles to enter. You're being filled with the courage of spirit now, so that you can move from this phase of your life to the next. Trust the process and call on Kali Ma to help you release your fear and step into a space that's strong, focused, and courageous. All right, and let's get a final message from the universe. Beautiful messages today. Y'all are on the right path. This is about this emerging dawn. Trust that every ending is another beginning coming in disguise. So whatever has recently ended, I feel like it's a phase. It's not necessarily this relationship ended. Some of you it may have, but this feels like you're trying to come back into balance within yourself. Changing your belief system about how you perceive your life experiences. We are all reviewing and reanalyzing. This is becoming, like I said in the weekly, we're becoming the editors of our own lives, and we're understanding contextually, comprehensively why these stories played out the way they did, and looking at it from the observer, the true self, and from the ego self, and making these course corrections so that this next emerging dawn, right, the vision where we're headed next, the new timeline, you have greater alignment with self. Bigger and better experiences are coming your way. You may not be able to see it, but great things are coming together for you as you experience the beginning of December. Trust the process and let it unfold in divine timing. Move forward knowing that all is working out just fine. Yeah. Trust the process, Virgo. You got this. Talk soon. Take care.